carpet correctly. We talked about how to come to the carpet, and I want to see who can do that correctly. Bringing your reading materials with you to the carpet, making sure that you have everything with you. You're walking, you are doing it quietly. You're making sure you're aware of people who are around you, holding the bottom of your boxes so that they don't break. And everybody should be in the to the carpet within the next 10 seconds. And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pretty good job. Before we get started with closing our lesson, as we were doing our IDR time and I was conferencing, there were a couple of things that I want to review based on our procedures, and then there's one thing that I realized that we need to discuss in a later lesson. So one of the things that we're going to discuss within the next week or so for our lessons is what real reading looks like and what fake reading looks like. So I'm going to make a note that we need to go over real and fake reading. And the reason we're going to do that is because I saw a lot of people who were doing fake reading, and we want to make sure that we talk about some of the things that I'm seeing that are going on. So I want everybody to be able to know what real reading and fake reading is. So we will talk about that soon. Another thing that I want to talk about is this chart that we did. Who can tell me what this chart is? What does this chart tell me? What is it talking a little bit about? Georgia. Is this talking about words or any problems that come up during reading? I noticed that some people, I'm walking around conferencing, some people are sitting there doing this, waiting for me to come to them. And we discussed if we had a problem during Reader's Workshop that we were going to solve it on our own. And we weren't going to be able to ask the teacher because the teacher's going to be conferencing. So no one should be raising their hand during Reader's Workshop because the teacher is not going to be able to come over to you and address what you need. You need to solve it on your own. Like if you come across big words, we talked about a couple of different things that you could do to solve that word. If you say I'm done, we talked about how we don't say I'm done and how we have 3 books in our box so that we can read just another book in our box. We talked about what to do if you had a noisy neighbor, that we would get up and we would move. We wouldn't have to ask the teacher. We talked about if you needed a pencil, that you would find one. You wouldn't have to ask the teacher. We talked about restroom and water. We talked to use the restroom SOP. So we're not raising our hand asking to go to the restroom. We're just going if it's an emergency. And an emergency is I'm about to go in my pants if I don't go right now. So all those things can be solved by you guys. And we talked about that. But some of you are new to our group and needed to be reminded of how to do these things. So let's review what we talked about today. Who can tell me what strategy we worked on today? What strategy did we work on today, AJ? Putting the words into chunks. Good. So we worked on chunking. When would we use chunking? When do I know if I need to use chunking when I'm reading, Michael? If I don't know what a word is, or if I don't know how to pronounce the word or say the word, I would use chunking. So I want you to turn to your paper where you wrote the words that you came across today during your reading. And I'm going to get a couple of you to share a word that you came across today as you were reading with the class. Alana, could you share one word that you came across today? Suppose. How do you spell that? Okay, suppose. And can you tell the class how you chunked it? Okay, so you said pose at the end? You said suppose. 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 Another one I saw you had was friend. What was another one on your paper? I saw it. Friendship. Friendship. She tucked it into two words. Friend and ship. The word is friendship. Friendship. And Camden, give me one word that you did today for chunking. What is it? How do you spell it? T E R M I N A T I O N. Look at that big word he came across that he didn't know. Camden, what did you do with that big word? You chunked it. Okay, can you tell us how you chunked it? Okay, turn. Men. Ation. Termination. Termination. Very good. You see that? You guys didn't even have to ask the teacher, and you knew by using chunking, you can figure out how to pronounce words that you do not know. Okay? So moving forward, I want you to use chunking. I want you to use rereading, context clues, reading ahead. And we have one more that we're going to talk about tomorrow. Okay? Questions? All right, great job today.